called Hometown. Most of these homes are built in the mid 1990s to 2005. There is a little bit of new construction in the subdivision, which tends to be on the higher end. So we're really not going to be looking at any of the new construction as comparables. But this property, 1590 Victoria Park Circle, um, it's a 4 bedroom. It's 2,428 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2 car garage, 2 story, built in 2008. And this one it's a large property. Um, for this particular subdivision, this one it has like this little extra addition you can see in the photo here that's over the garage. And you got to make sure when you're kind of comping, you're looking at the units that have this little extra addition over the garage area. You're not going to find every unit. You can make adjustments. Let's say I had this style house without this little addition over the garage. I shouldn't say little, this large addition over the garage. You can use those, but you're going to need to add and subtract for square footage because everything is above grade on this. Square footage comes into play a little bit more. So on this particular unit, again, overall, we're seeing a lot of properties that are in relatively good condition coming out in foreclosure. This one's missing appliances. Obviously, needs a good coat of paint. Every room is a different color, so we want to get this a little bit more neutralized inside the property. But the overall look of it, it's in, I would say, pretty darn good condition. So let's look at a few of the comps that are out there. So the first one that we come to, let's hit this one right here. This one's at 263,000. This one's on Celebration. This particular property, very nice on the inside, nicely updated and in what I would call great shape. This one is 2,170 square feet, sold for 263,000. It says that it's 2 bedrooms, 2 baths with a 2 car garage, but we know that this is it's likely more bedrooms. It may have a loft area upstairs, but it's very close to the subject property and has a real good look to it. So this property, $263,000 is a sale. We come over to another one that's here. This one is over on Hickory Park Lane. And this property, as we pull this up, it does have that little addition above the garage area. And it's, again, very nice and tidy and clean and does show well. This property sold for $225,000 in good, clean shape. New carpet. It looks like painted kitchen cabinets again. And sometimes you can tell if you're looking at photos. You want to kind of really kind of zoom in on the photos if you can of the kitchen cabinets to see if they're new cabinets or if they're painted. This one I can kind of tell if it's like a raised panel in a way, then you kind of know that it was a painted kitchen cabinet. So there's not that we paint kitchen cabinets all the time, but I would say if you do have a property that has new kitchen cabinets or painted kitchen cabinets, this one here, there's going to be a little bit of a value difference. It's slight, but I want to add for that. This one sold for $225,000. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2 car garage. It took 89 days to sell this particular property. The one thing that we always want to try to look at is do they have a basement or does it not have a basement? Now, this property, the subject property does, and I could see that from the photos. From the photos on this one, it doesn't show it in there. And if it doesn't have a basement is about $20,000 to $25,000 in value right now. So, a house that does have one or one that does not have one. This one does not. This one sold for $225,000. The basement is a slab. So whenever you see slab, you always want to be paying real close attention to that because that doesn't mean it has a basement. That means that there is no basement. It's on a slab. I would prefer basement, yes or no, if when you see the multiple listing service and looking at a property and doing comps. But as long as you know that it's slab. That's means no basement inside the property. So again, 225,000. Good comp. Going to use that one. Going to have to make adjustments for the basement. Let's take another look at another property here. This one's on Sherry Lane. And we're going to have this one pull up. This particular property, it is a 3 bedroom. This one's 2,400 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2-car garage. Took 58 days to sell this property, located very close to the subject. Again, a very similar square footage house, but the one thing here, the agent did put basement none. So they didn't use the term slab, they used none. So again, I've got to do around a 20 to 25K valuation or adjustment because we have a basement and the other properties do not. Again, this property is real nice, clean, and tidy. There is one thing that's unusual about this property. Is on the main level, you'll see that they have a bedroom on the main level of the house, kind of with these barn doors. And so it's not really a usual item that you see, but if somebody did need a bedroom on the first floor, this house has it. And most of these properties, what they've done is they've converted the living room, the formal living room, into a bedroom. So you will probably see that as our population ages. I think we'll start to see some of the living room areas being used as a kind of in-law suite. And so not that it's something that I would automatically go ahead and do and start converting our living rooms into in-law suites, but in this case they did, and the property did sell. It took 58 days to sell, and it is again, a pretty good comp to use. So within the subdivision, we've got sales that range, one with a basement at 263, 225,000, and $235,000. The lower sales not having a basement. So looking at the numbers on this particular property, so on Victoria Park, the numbers as they stand, this one would be a purchase price. If we could buy this for about $175,000, that's our buy-in price. The renovation on a property like this, we're looking at somewhere, this is a low-level rehab. It's carpet, paint, cleaning, and appliances. I'm going to say we're going to have somewhere around $18,000 to get this property into good resellable condition, new paint, new appliances, get it a little bit more neutralized and modern, and a sales price of about $250,000 as our sales price. So with having a $175,000 buy-in, around $18K to renovate it, $250,000 to sell the property. After we kind of dissect all the numbers, we should be left, an investor should be left with around $35,000 as net profit after all expenses. So again, this property is something that I would say is hands down, this one's a good play. Something for an investor to look at. And if you look below, I have a link where you could go ahead and submit a bid on the property. So if you're interested in this one, this is a great property to look at as an investment. We get new properties every single day. I have so much that's sitting here on my list, so that I can easily forward off to you and send you out those particular deals. And as always, give me a few likes. It's always nice to see that people enjoy seeing these properties coming out. And you'll see me tomorrow. Thanks.